and it's one of the fastest growing industries in the U.S., even with the economy going down. So with this being a growing fad, I think you should know about the history of the tattoo, how to go about getting one, and what you should do if you have one that you really wish you hadn't gotten. So humans have been marking their bodies for thousands and thousands of years. The oldest tattoo mummy that they found was from 5,200 years ago. He's called the Iceman. He was off the Italian and Austrian border, and they found him in 1991. He had tattoos across his fingers and one on the inside of his thigh and down circles around his knees, which they thought they probably used as some kind of medical purpose to cure like arthritis or pain. They've also found quite a few tattooed women in Egyptian tombs. Only women there, their men weren't tattooed, but they had dots across their stomachs, which they thought was supposed to help with childbirth. And until the Roman Empire, tattoos were very popular in pretty much every culture. When they came about and the rise of Christianity, they decided that tattoos were against the Lord's word and whatnot, so they stopped getting them, and they kind of fell into recession for a while, which came back out when Captain Cook took several trips to the Pacific and brought back tattooed islanders for show, and people were really, really interested in this, and they'd go see them, and then high up people, like higher class people, would get them, since not a lot of other people had them, and it eventually went down the ranks, and then everybody started having them, and they stopped, and it kept going, came over to America, and again, religion kind of took it out for a while. And once it came back again, it's come back quite a few times. Only sailors and laborers, slaves and circus people had tattoos, and people who didn't have any money would get tattoos and join a circus because you get paid lots of money to have people come look at you all day. So how did this change into the 45 million people we have now? More and more people went to the shows and decided that they liked body art, and so people would learn how to give it, and then they would tattoo their wives and family as walking advertisement, and eventually it kind of became another fad, and it's grown into the culture we have now. You can't really go anywhere without seeing somebody with a tattoo anymore. And it's become a fine art in today's society. So how to get a tattoo? According to the Smithsonian.com, in 1891, Samuel O'Reilly patented the first electric tattoo gun, which is a good thing because before that, they were using like sticks and soot and sharp bones or needles. It wasn't very hygienic and it wasn't very accurate, although some of the old art is pretty. It doesn't have a lot of fine detail. So what you'll see now is generally something that looks a little bit like this. There's a needle that comes down through the barrel, and this is a plastic disposable barrel. A lot of people are switching to these because it's better for decontamination stuff. You just throw this one away along with the needle instead of having to sterilize it. And so there's a cord will come and hook up to this part here, and there's a little lever here you guys can see, and it comes and it pushes this part down. You can't see really from there, but there's a little needle poking out of here. And tattoos essentially are a bunch of puncture wounds, what they fill with ink, which turn into art. And so the tattoo artist will control something with his foot, and it's hooked up to like the rate and the speed of it, and they'll pretty much just hold it like a pencil and draw on you. And before that, of course, they'll clean the surface, clean gloves, they'll put an outline, a carbon copy outline onto your skin and peel it off, and then they'll clean that part. They should change their gloves, and then they'll start with the outline, and they'll probably clean it again, change gloves again, and then do color if you wanted color. After that, you generally have to put Vaseline type things, A&D, Aquaphor. Never put Neosporin on your tattoos, it'll pull the color out. So that's about how you can go about getting one. I'd go to a licensed professional. However, in Idaho, it's not required that you are licensed, but many artists around here are just because. And so if you want to see this afterwards, I'll pass it around. I also have a tattoo magazine here that you guys can look through if you have art that you want to see. And how to get rid of a tattoo that if you got one that you were drunk and got it, or you have a name on it that you really don't want anymore. They have tattoo removal creams, which are really ineffective and fairly expensive for what they don't do. Laser removal is probably the most popular form, and it essentially burns it out, but it does look like real skin again. My mom's had it done 4 times, and it looks like regular skin, although it is painful and fairly expensive. And the newest form is intense pulse light therapy. And instead of a laser, it's really high intense light, and it's supposed to do about the same thing, less painful, but way more money than the laser therapy. So I hope you guys now have a better understanding about tattoos, between the history, how to go about getting one, and what to do if you have one you don't want to keep. Thanks.